Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and today I'm going to talk about Black Ops 2, of course. As you can see here, this is a map on Hijacked. I'm playing Kill Confirmed. Playing solo this time, all by myself, just a quick little match. I had a couple minutes before the craziness of the weekend happened. Because you didn't guys follow me on Facebook, I was Thanksgiving. My son got really sick with a respiratory condition. He ended up in the hospital. He ended up in a pediatric ICU for the weekend. So he's home now. He's doing good, full recovery, no problem. But it was a very long weekend for me. Of course, meant no gaming. So I'm a little lack for gameplay still. Just as I was getting the ball rolling, getting back on my feet. What a month it's been, let me tell you. But anyway, I wanted to switch gears up a little bit, and I've kind of talked about Black Ops 2 more in a macro, more in a a meta game type of reviews and impressions kind of thing. Today I wanted to give you some tips, and I wanted to give you some principles that I'm using that have really helped me improve my game. Now I'm not where I want to be in this game. I just, for lack of time, I haven't been able to clock any big sessions, which I'd like to do. It really helps put everything together. It's mostly been an hour here, hour there. But it's really starting to come together because I'm just starting to think as you need to think, and the game's starting to slow down basically, and the decision-making process is starting to kind of clarify and be much quicker. I'm not even thinking, I'm just doing, and we all know for whatever game you're playing, FPS specific, that's very important. So, if you guys are like me, when I first start a game, I usually do really well, and then the more I play in a session, the better I do, but then I hit this slippery slope where I start to do worse, and it's a confidence thing, it's an ego thing. I start thinking I'm Rambo. I start, instead of where I'm playing tight and I'm playing very smart in the beginning, I start to loosen up and play, haphazard and lazy, and I get myself into trouble. So one of the biggest problems I have with Black Ops is, as you guys know, it's a very quick game, it's very chaotic. There's a lot going on around you, and sometimes it's hard to decipher, especially if you're coming from a Battlefield background like I do. So how do we make sense of that? How do we stop that chaos? And I'm going to talk about something here I've talked about in other videos. I talked about it with Battlefield 3. And my boy Skulls, he just did a video on it today, actually. So I kind of hesitated to make this video, even though I had planned on it. But it really can't be said enough. And you guys know, I made that video, I think for DRMB, talking about how my grandfather gave me life advice to, work slowly to go faster. And since I did that video, some people have pointed out to me that that's actually kind of the same saying that the military uses, and slow is smooth, smooth is fast. It's really the same thing. And in my book, if it's good enough for my grandfather and it's good enough for the military, it's gotta work basically. And basically my point is, long-winded point at that, slow down. Now that doesn't mean walk, that doesn't mean camp, that doesn't mean hide. It just means slow down. Stop rushing everywhere. There's no rush. These maps are very small. You're running nowhere. You don't need the sprint to get there in time to get to the firefight. The firefights will come to you, and that's almost the best way to do it. Let them come to you. Locate the firefight, locate the hotspot, and figure out where you want to be, and just get there. But don't be running around corner. Like here, I end up getting myself out in limbo. I kind of lost that guy. But my point is, don't run around the corners. Take your time, use cover. Let the fight come to you, and let it come to you on your terms. And to me, that's the key. For me, like what I did, I don't run lightweight anymore. And it's weird for me because usually I like speed. Speed kills. Speed's effective. It's lethal. I like to move quicker. I like to get around the map. In this game, I found it was getting me in more trouble than it was worth. So I do not use lightweight. I very rarely even use extreme conditioning, because you could just run longer, and I just got myself into more trouble. I take those off, and so now I'm limited, and I can't really rely on running. You see here, I do a little more posting up. Now, be careful. There's a fine line between when you're moving too slowly. You're posted up too long. You want to hit and move, hit and move. Only very rarely when you're in a real power position do you want to stick around. And that's only when almost you can't get away. Like, this is a horrible position I'm in, but it was advantageous because those guys were completely unaware. But even then, move on, get out of there. Cleaning up the tags, I'm going to move on. But you see, I'm not sprinting that much. I'm only sprinting when I feel like I'm at a very bad spot, where I'm in a long sight line. And I'm going to touch on that in a minute. That's going to be my second point I'm going to talk to you guys about. I really only use sprint to get me out of a bad situation, to get me out of a bad spot. And by that I mean long sight line where I can be shot in the back. I don't use it as a way to, like, rush to a fight. There's no rush. These maps are so small. There's no hurry to get to the fight. It's going to be there. The fight's going to find you. It's going to fall over you. There's just no reason to rush there. So you just got to be more disciplined about it. Stop rushing. Work slowly. You'll be more prepared. Be aiming down sights as you go around a corner. There's nothing wrong with that. It really isn't. Now, the next tip I'm going to give you guys is something I really haven't heard anybody talking about, and it's one you should be doing in every game, just like anything. It's universal. This is not just a Black Ops 2 tip video. These can be applied to any game, and that's breaking line of sight. What the hell do I mean by that? Basically, you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable. I touched on it before. Especially on a map like this, it's very small, very quick. People coming from every direction. You cannot predict where people are coming from in this game very well. Battlefield 3, you can do that a little more. There's a little more battle lines. You know kind of where the enemy's at. Here you don't. It's chaos. Medal of Honor, same thing. It's very much chaos. It's very much like, to you guys that haven't played but have played Battlefield 3, it's very much like Close Quarters. Very chaotic. People come from all different directions. What I like to do is I like to close off my line of sights. And what does that mean? Hug walls. You know, use cover, obviously. But, you know, if you have a long line of sight and there's a door, take it. Break that line of sight. Because you never know when some guy 20 feet behind you is going to come around a corner and you're silhouetted on a wide open hallway and you're an easy kill. Sure, maybe ducking in that doorway delays your route to where you want to go, but it's effective and it'll keep you from getting shot in the back. Now, I'm going to do a quick little replay here from earlier in the match. Basically, what I'm going to do here is you're going to see... Basically, what I'll show you with the replay, watch how I go through this little bit. You see, I push over there against the wall. Watch here. I go around that thing, and I tuck in. And get right against the wall. Why am I doing that? Because what you're doing is you're narrowing the viewing angle that someone's going to get you from behind. Now, on that little boardwalk there, what you're doing is you're narrowing the angle. So some guy, literally, in order to see you, has to come fully through that door. He can't kind of roll the corner and look for you. He has to come out and expose himself before he can see you. Yeah, that sounded terrible. But... basically, by hugging the wall, and this applies everywhere in Black Ops. I do this all the time, and there's a lot of rounded walls and things with no cover. Minimize yourself. Hug the wall, minimize your silhouette, minimize your target, and at the very least, force someone else to expose themselves to your gun without seeing you. Otherwise, the guy can stay on that, he can stay through the doorway and see you because you're running like an idiot in the wide open, out against the sea, in this example, and he can just take you out, no problem. Basically, you run into him. By hugging the wall, you see I do it again here, probably. No, I got killed too quick. I mean, it's a habit I've done in all games, and I find it definitely helping here. You hug that wall, and now the guy has to fully come out, and then the battle's on your terms, basically. And he's coming to you, you have the drop, and the truth is, a lot of guys don't, like, go against the grain in that aspect. Don't follow the main thoroughfares. If it's a main wide open, people run right down the middle. So sometimes, if like, see how I just tuck in a little bit there? People don't look where I'm at right now first. They come through that door. If they had, he's going to look down the middle of the hallway. So if you're just cocked off a little bit, he might not pick you up for that half a second, and that's enough. Especially if you're prepared, you're moving slowly, you're in the ready, and you can take him out. So that's basically what you're trying to do. Is you're trying to manufacture like a half-second advantage, because that's all you're going to get in this game. This game's very quick. You can die very fast. You're just trying to squeeze any advantage in timing that you can. Right there, I got shot in the back. So just kind of don't follow the path well traveled. Just switch it up. You see, come on, yeah. See how I tuck in there now. For anybody to see, now I can do that corner on my terms. I can do it at my pace, and I can do it aim down sights. And this, you don't really have to with an SMG. It's a habit I'm trying to break. But you saw there, I tucked in, I moved up to the corner, and I did the corner on my terms when I wanted to. I didn't have some guy bust through on me because he saw me out there, and he had the drop on me. So I hope that makes sense to you guys and you understand what I'm talking about. Now, the last little point I want to talk about is one that might be a little more, the most controversial here, is take a break. Find a little bit of cover, especially when you've just gone on a little kill streak, you 2 or 3 or 4 guys, you got to reload, whatever. Take a break. Find a little cubby, find a little corner, sit for a second, reload, assess your situation, check the mini-map, all these things, exhale, and then move on. You know, you might get called a camper. Who the hell cares? You know, there's nothing wrong with just clearing your head for a second. This game can throw a lot of information at you. It can force you to decode a lot of things and make a lot of decisions. Sometimes you just need to decompress, reboot the brain a little bit, and move on. So there you go, guys. That's a couple things that have helped me quite a bit, get a little bit better. I'm seeing a lot of improvement, which I'm pretty excited about. So hopefully they can help you. Let me know what some of the best tips you guys are using right now to improve your game in Black Ops 2. I'd love to hear them. Put them in the comments. If you guys enjoyed it, I always appreciate the like. I will talk to you soon, guys. Take care.